Hey, welcome everybody back to another episode of Black as Black. Look, right off the bat, if you guys enjoy any of this crazy shit we throw out, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and that way you won't miss out on any of our stupidity. I got Dave on again today. We got a lot to unpack tonight because, well, we planned this thing, I don't know, what was it, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
At least,
And
yeah.
kept postponing. Something come up on his end, something come up on my end, and finally we got it together. So part of what we're talking about is going to be a little bit old news, but that's okay. We'll bring it right up to date before this thing's over. How you been doing, Dave?
Doing great, Rich. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm still plugging away every day. I go do my job and come back home and cook and eat and watch some TV. And what I need to be doing is getting up off my ass and doing some walking and, something like that. I don't know. Down here. It's one or two things, either too hot to be outside or too cold.
Yeah, yeah. I see it. I just saw a video a little bit ago on TikTok. It's I guess they got quite a bit of snow in Pensacola.
Oh yeah, it's still coming down. I got a friend
Yeah.
up there putting videos up on Facebook, and yeah, it's still coming down. This what predicted, I don't know, 3 to 5 inches or something like that. It'll be a
Yeah.
blast for them. Talking about snow where it don't normally snow. Um, let's see, you didn't work with me into Inotech, but back in the Infinite Access days, um, we were doing a lot of work with GE Capital Modular Space with their portable offices or whatever, temporary offices and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And we were manufacturing those handicap ramps. And we had a couple of meetings with them. We went up and approached them with that product to begin with, but they wanted us to build like 7,000 units, and basically lease them to them when they needed them.
Right.
And it's like, no, we can't do that. Then they tossed these little portable stairs at us, and I said, "Well, you're buying them off of I think it was Carlson Stromberg." I said, "They're mass producing them, so I doubt I can touch that price." Anyway, I said, "I'll go back and put pen to paper." And lo and behold, I ended up with a contract for them. We were making about 10,000 units a year for them until they backed out of the rental business. But anyway, during that process, they did buy some ramps off of us, but the what was it, 93? The Olympics were in Atlanta.
I believe so.
I think it was 93. Anyway, we ended up going down there, and we had a big meeting there with Jack Welch, and he was CEO at the time of the Olympics for GE period, not just GE
Right.
Capital. But anyway, we sat down and had a little talk, and we went down and toured all the venues, but we were going to leave on a Saturday morning and drive down, and it was me and Spanky. You know Spanky?
Hmm.
Storming, yeah.
Yep.
So it was me and
Yep.
him was going to go down, and we were going to meet my cousin Mark Gill from Boston down there. So it's Friday night, and we get off work over there at the shoe factory, and that's what everybody knows it by. It was Infinite Access at the time.
Right.
Went over across the street to the remnants of the building of the shoe factory, which was known as the Corner Tavern. And we were sitting in there, and I looked out the dang window, and I said, "Damn, Spank!" I said, "Look at that snow." I mean, it was coming down. And I said, "You got your shit packed?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do." And I said, "Well, I do too." I said, "We ought to get it and hit the road right now." So we did, and less than an hour, we were on the highway headed into Kentucky, and we got down to Nashville. And I was like, "All right, it's late. Let's just pull in somewhere." We'd outrun the snow, it was all good. So we checked in the motel and woke up the next morning and shit, there's 3 inches of snow on the ground. I said, "Son of a bitch." So we got in the car and we headed to Atlanta, and we run the snow again. And so we got down there and went to the airport, picked up my cousin Mark, and went back to the hotel room. I think actually we might have made a stop or two at some of those places where they don't have a lot of clothes on. But anyway, anyway, next thing you know, it's snowing like a bitch down there. It's like we're sucking this stuff down with us, you know. And the next morning, when we had to get up and get out and go to see these sites, dude, it was crazy. These people were sliding into ditches and rear-ending. We got rear-ended. We was up on the top of interstate. I think it was 275 that runs around there, the inner loop, and we were trying to get on the ramp to go down, but there was a stoplight, and I'm sitting at the stoplight. I had a 4-wheel drive Bronco at the time. And I look up in my mirror and there's a guy coming at us and he's going broadside. And I said, hang on, boys, we're going to get hit. Sure enough, he bounced into us and nobody got hurt. He dented his car up a little bit. Didn't hurt mine. But anyway, we went down and we seen all those sights and everything. And I mean, there's hills there, you know. And at the bottom of every one of those dips was 4 or 5 stuck cars that had slowed down to the point they couldn't get up. And so they're just sitting there spinning their tires. We're blowing past them, you know, like, ah. Anyway, that's my story for tonight. So moving on here, going back in time now, but the LA fires, very tragic. I watched a lot of clips and tried to pick out some that were probably most prominent. And the first one I'm going to play here, cut 1, if I can get my producer woke up. Hey, get ready. Get over. I'm getting ready to call out a cut. You get over. Anyway, you ready? All right. Anyway, you know, we've all been around campfires and seen the little fire tornadoes go up, right?
Yes.
You've seen any little twisters go. Well, apparently, these newscasters, this was the first time event for them. Now, granted, these are some pretty big fire tornadoes. But anyway, let's play clip 1 here and we'll see what that's about.
That is hundreds of feet.
A dangerous new threat in the Los Angeles inferno, firenadoes.
A lot of fire being drawn straight up into the air.
Wow, that is crazy.
Turning to disaster.
Isn't it?
10,000 hectares of land scorched so far, and it could get worse.
Over the next few days and into
That's how I feel after I eat spicy food.
Facing another critical
Yeah,
weather
except it's inverted, right?
Yeah.
The bombardment has been continuing around the clock for days.
And they have multiple helicopters
it's
working on the
really
area.
not a laughable event, but it's terrible what happened out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess talking about the firenadoes, obviously heat rises and it's the same thing as a tornado. And once it gets going up fast enough, then it works itself into that spiral. And I guess that's probably what helped spread a lot of it, because it would suck a lot of coals and embers up in there, and then they'd fall out somewhere else and start another fire.
Yeah, and I believe I read somewhere, internet, I think, somewhere that there was a story that they were.
You read on the internet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was an article.
I got you.
But I think they said in some areas they were having like 50, 60 mile an hour winds.
It was better than that. They got up around 100 there for a while.
Really? Yeah. So I'll be honest. I mean, some of that I've been following the North Carolina tragedy more than I have the wildfires,
Right.
just because it's not getting the notoriety that the fires are.
Oh no.
So I kind of like to keep apprised of that. And I honestly, here even lately, I haven't heard a whole lot on that.
Well, no, that it's, like everything else, the media jumped over to the fires, forgot all about the poor souls over there in North Carolina. Right now, they're getting blizzard conditions in a tent.
Yes.
In a freaking tent.
Well, I know, I can't remember if it was before the last time we talked, we had one of these or not, but we done an episode, I guess you'd say, or after that, but there was a 9-month-old and an 11-month-old baby that froze to death in the tents.
Oh no.
And that's why everybody was so up in arms, because next thing you know, the wildfires and North Carolina and Tennessee and stuff has just literally gone away. So and I'm going to kind of jump off subject for a second here, but the TikTok ban, everybody thinks that that's not that big of an issue because it's, just another Chinese app that,
Right.
that's stealing your information. Well, I've been on TikTok for a couple of years now, and I've never had an issue. No, never been hacked.
You wouldn't know if you had an issue because they're just collecting data. But let me ask you this: why is everybody afraid of TikTok when we're all carrying our own Chinese-made cell phones? You don't think they're
Exactly.
collecting data?
Well, and they talk about it being a security threat, yet Chinese owns 380,000 acres, prime acres in our country. They own 5,000 companies in our country, several of which, and I think they've kind of gotten away from this, but I know at one time they owned Tyson Foods and a couple other of our food producers.
Sure.
That doesn't seem to be the case because I researched it a couple of days ago, and it doesn't. And now it's saying they don't own many of our food producers. So,
yeah, well, I'm sure it's undercover.
Yeah, who owns the most owns the most acreage in our country other than China? The number one landowner besides China, foreign landowner, I should say. Number one foreign. I should have said that. No, Canada, 14.2 million acres they own in our country. So yeah,
sound like they're trying to take us over.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why Trump said that, right? But no, back to the whole TikTok thing. What I was going to say is that's where I'm hearing about the North Carolina, South Carolina, because people who live there who are affected by this are posting about this. They have internet access again, thanks to Elon with a Starlink.
Yeah.
But they're posting again and kind of keeping us. So I get a lot of my news directly from them. I don't watch MSNBC, NBC, CNN, Fox. I don't trust any of them.
Who are they?
Exactly. So I always love it when a liberal tries to pull out, their buzzwords of, you're uneducated, you're a cult, you watch Fox News.
Are you speaking to somebody specifically?
We all know somebody that's in that category.
Right.
They like to throw those buzzwords out.
I'm gonna rein you back to the fires here. The now unknown mayor of LA is now very well known, and here's cut two. You ready to play cut two?
Is underfunded, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
This department was asked to take a $17 million budget cut.
That is correct.
How does that affect your department?
This, by the way, is not the mayor.
Our ability to provide service, absolutely.
How did that affect the firefight in the Palisades and beyond?
So, first and foremost, what I just said before is making sure our firefighters have the ability to provide service. So $17 million cut did not allow us to do what we needed to do. And where that impacted us specifically for Palisades was our ability to move into reserve apparatus.
So my point there was Mayor Bass. She cut all that, what, 17.1 or $2 or $3 million out of the fire budget. Said she was directing it towards the homeless. Well, I guess that was a good move because there's a shitload of homeless out there now. I don't know. And then we got this cut here. Cut three. Would you play cut three there? Yeah, just regular 3, not 3A.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
I hope I don't have to carry her ass out of a fire.
No shit. I got a bad back already.
Oh, my God. But that's what they're dealing with out there.
Yeah, I've watched that clip as much as I could possibly stomach it, but both of them. No, could you imagine though if it was a man saying that? Oh, sorry,
yeah.
I couldn't live. I couldn't carry your wife out there because she was just in the wrong place. That's that's not on me. That's on her.
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, and I mean, come on. I'm not even. Well, I'm not even going to go there. But that person that said that. I don't know if there's been any repercussions from that statement or not, but there damn well should be.
Oh, there
This
was. There
I,
was.
I heard the chief got fired. I hadn't heard anything about the assistant chief.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is over a week old, so
Yeah,
I kind of moved on. I try to stay up with the current stuff, but I already had this stuff in the can, so
right.
that's why we're going over it. But I'm gonna try to cut through it real quick. Um, I got another cut here. I don't even remember what this one is, but play 3A. Yeah, that's Newscum addressing the wildfires there. But you laugh at that because that was funny. But the thing is, that movement was taken from a news interview he did,
Yeah,
and you probably seen it.
yeah, I did.
Um,
I recognize it.
the cocaine shoulder shift.
The cocaine shuffle.
Yeah, the cocaine shuffle there. I don't know. But, all right, I got one more on the fires, and then we'll move on to something else.
And so put it all together, whether it's a deliberate policy to not store water, not preserve water. Last year was one of the wettest years that we've had. We've had 3 out of the last 4 years have been very, very wet. We had a huge snowpack. We had rivers that were running in 19th century fashion, but out to the sea to save the Delta smelt. So it was a total systems collapse from the idea of not spending money on irrigation, storage, water, fire prevention, and forest management, a viable insurance industry, a DEI hierarchy. You put it all together, and it's something like a DEI Green New Deal hydrogen bomb.
Exactly.
Wow, that's insane. I mean, a lot of people obviously lost their homes and everything, but so James Woods. I'm a huge James Woods
you
fan.
need slapped for that laugh. A lot of people lost their homes.
No,
I know your thoughts were a little further ahead than that statement.
Well, James Woods posted a video, and it was prior to him finding out what happened to his home. But he was crying, obviously upset. He was crying. He thought his home was destroyed and everything. So all these liberals were on there. You got what you deserved. Ha ha ha. Literally laughing at him over that.
Right.
I wasn't laughing at the wildfires. I was laughing at him. But
Right.
because whenever the next video he posted was from his home, which was hardly touched at all by the wildfire,
Right.
and his neighbor's home was completely gone, but his home was barely touched. So of course, I gotta, pardon the pun, but I gotta fan the flames of the liberals online. So I go on there and I start finding them. I'm a troll kind of, so I go on his feed and I say, well, he got exactly what he deserved. His home was untouched, and he can move right back in. He just has a little bit of damage done on it. Of course, no response on that. They don't want to. When they get an ass made of themselves, they don't want to. They don't want to reply to you. So yeah, I just found that kind of comical.
Some of those, I know my wife, for instance, she'll laugh and she'll go, "Guess who's following me? I just got whatever, a post from them or whatever.
A notification.
Yeah, something, but it'd be like from Blake Shelton or like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who it is posting to you or texting you or whatever. Believe that.
Yeah, my brother thought he was talking to Jennifer Aniston, so I feel you on that.
Yeah. I've got some of those. They pop in like people you may know on Facebook. I feel like right now Facebook's like archaic. It's old. Like, oh, only us old folks are using Facebook. Everybody else on Instagram and TikTok,
I tell you,
Telegram.
I love X. Good, now that
I
Elon
I
owns
do
it, I
have
love it.
X. I have it
Oh
on my phone. I just don't interact with it. I get a lot of, you when you first get on there, you pick who you want to follow, and so I
yeah,
get a lot of the notifications from Elon and Vivek and Vance and all them. But anyway, I got a cut four here, but in my notes I don't see anything about cut fours, so I have no idea what cut four is about.
surprise cut of the day, baby.
It, play cut four.
This court has determined that the only lawful sentence that permits entry of a judgment of conviction without encroaching upon the highest office in the land
This is how far back this
unconditional
goes.
discharge. Therefore, at this time, I impose that sentence to cover all 34 counts. Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office.
Now, my question initially on that one was unconditional discharge.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked my wife, I says, kind of discharge is that? And she looked at me a little funny and was like, I don't know. I said, you've never had it? She goes, no. So, so I don't know. The whole point being, though, is on that particular issue is they never showed a crime. They never listed a crime. And so constitutionally, that man's never been convicted legally.
Right.
So, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But as far as I'm concerned, and listening to some of the top authorities on the Constitution, and they blew it up out of a misdemeanor with
Right.
had so many years of expired.
The statute of limitations, yes.
The statute of limitations, and then they have to tie it in to get it to a felony. They have to tie it in to covering for another crime. Well, that other crime was never disclosed. There was never any directive as to what the other crime was. So
No.
I don't know. It's obviously it's all lawfare. And I tell you what, it was great to see Trump's inaugural address. We'll get into that. I got to go one more place before we get there. We're going to go to cut 5. This is about the UAPs and the fog, man.
Yeah.
We must not let up, and that's why I'm announcing today another presidential drawdown authority package valued at $500 million. It
That's over. Go home, buddy.
For Ukrainian air defense, more ammunition, more air-to-ground munitions, and other equipment to support Ukraine's F-16s. Retreat will only provide incentives for more imperial aggression. And if we flinch,
I don't think you played the right cut there.
And punch harder. Ukraine's survival is on the line, but so is the security of Europe.
Yeah, I think you played the wrong cut there, Mr. Producer Man. Anyway, there was a point to be taken there. I think that guy's money, his honey hole dried up.
A lot of them.
I don't see Trump sending a lot more money over there to help them. I think what we will see is Trump riding Putin's ass a little hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He made a comment. I guess it was from a conversation yesterday as he was signing the executive orders, over 200 of them. Right. That he would definitely be on the phone with Putin here soon. He's been itching to talk to him. But I heard today, I saw on Google News, I believe it was, that Vivek has stepped away from the Doge thing to run for governor.
decided to run for governor from Ohio. I don't know that there was any contention or anything there. I know that he did make some remarks about the culture of Americans, which he was absolutely spot on, but it probably wasn't the wisest thing he's ever said. Uh, you know, but it was very Trumpish.
Well, yeah, and I was just kind of surprised by it. I hadn't heard anything about that. I haven't really seen much about him in the news lately. Other
Well, if you
than
notice, if you go back over the past few days, he's faded. He kind of faded out of the picture there with the Doge thing, and Elon pretty much was pretty much at Trump's side about everywhere that you've seen him appear. Um, him and his little X. That was mine. I thought I had everything shut off, but I guess I don't. Anyway, I'm going to play this next cut. I hope it's the one that we should have played before. And anyway, I give it a shot and see what happens.
All right. So it's crazy foggy right now.
Wow.
That's not the weird part. Okay. Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate. And it's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks. And like the taste of the air is, I mean, the only word I can think of is toxic. It's super weird. And so I'm going for my walk and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, it smells not right. And I'm 41. I've been through fog. This is something different. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that.
So, I want to take a moment right here to introduce my producer. You want to step in the shot here? This is my producer, Mr. Pickles. There, say hi, Mr. Pickles. Hi. Anyway, that guy's been on 1,000,000 miles of camping trips and hiking and backpacking tours and kayaking, and he goes everywhere my backpack goes. And he gets in all the shots. So I had to bring him into this one. Anyway, the fog, I watched a lot of news clips and YouTube videos and stuff on that, and I immediately ordered 2 gas masks for us. I got drones flying around, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, has the news is the news talking about it down there? Because I mean,
oh yeah, we had it here. I drove through it 2 days. I drove through it, and like I said, or like he said, it didn't leave. I 8 to 9, I'm driving through it going in. Normally, by that time of day, it's starting to burn off. Regular fog,
Yeah, no, I think the last time you and I talked about it, didn't you mention it's leaving like almost like a residue on your cars or something?
Yes. I should have brought clips of that in, but there's guys showing rubbing their finger on it. It's like an oily, greasy, it doesn't wipe off. It's like water would. There was a news clip of a lady that went out and had this crazy looking, almost looked like clumps of, that spray foam stuff you get for cracks and stuff like that in her pool, just globs of it all in her pool. So, that one's, I don't know. I told Tammy, I said, or I think she told me we need gas masks. And so I said, okay, no problem. They'll be here tomorrow. But, I mean, God, you don't know. You don't know. They're letting these drones fly around they're not trying to find out. Well, maybe they are, but they're not telling us. But they're not trying to shoot them down or nothing. So that says a lot about nothing. Either they know who they are and they don't care, or they're ours. And that's about the only 2 options.
Yeah, and the last time I don't remember who that clown was that said it, but he'd made the statement that these were lawfully lawfully manned aircraft flying around, but then we have one go down in Ohio in somebody's backyard, but never heard about a pilot.
No.
No, still to this day, I haven't heard anything about that.
How many people you know that can afford a drone the size of a car that can fly for 5 hours?
That many of them, especially. I mean, there were hundreds of them.
Yeah, and those things cost as much as a car, and obviously, yeah, Trump's supposed to expose that.
Yeah, I think he's going to expose a lot. I hope he is anyway. And
well, his statement was, "I want to know as bad as you do what the hell they are,
exactly,
and where they're from." So, and I've been having, I've had that fog in my throat for a few days now, and it's making me talk rough. All right, let me scroll through my notes here. Okay, we got through all that. Okay, let's talk about some of the more prominent cabinet members for Trump and appointees. And what do you think their chances are? Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, just from watching the confirmation hearings, I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag. You got, I mean, obviously the Republicans are they're pro, most of them. Some of them aren't. There are a few rhinos in there. And then the liberals, the Democrats, their heads are exploding with every single person that Trump brings in, whether it be because they're a celebrity, a TV host or whatever. But I did see a thing where it said, Trump can go ahead and bring them in these positions without without Senate confirming them. So, I mean, if that's the case, why are we even wasting our time doing this? For one thing, if that's who he wants, get him in there. Number two, I looked it up. I was on TikTok and having a conversation with somebody who said, this guy's completely unqualified. He's not, he's not the leader material, yada yada yada. And I said, well, then what is these senators' qualifications that justify them in saying what his qualifications are good or not?
Exactly.
And somebody commented, well, the majority of them are former military, so I Googled. Exactly. And I Googled it, and that's not the case. 11 of them are former military. 16 of them are not. So majority is not on their side. So again, these people have been either professors, bosses of some sort in some sort of corporations, something like that, and yet they're telling this guy that he's not qualified and asking the most stupid questions.
Oh yeah. Well, if you look at, I got a list of people up here, but if you look at them, especially when it comes to Democrats, they only have one subject. What are you going to do? Are you going to chase down everybody that opposed Trump? Or are you going to try to put them? I mean, it's over and over and over again. Didn't matter what position. Same question.
Yeah,
it's all they got. It's all they got.
And the funny thing was that the one senator that asked him how many push-ups could he do, and of course everybody focused on that, not realizing that he wasn't being serious. He asked that completely sarcastically because he was like, this is the level of questions you idiots are asking.
You guys are asking, yeah.
So, so he asked that, and of course the liberals, they jump on the internet. Oh my God, he can't even answer a question with how many push-ups. He done 5 sets of 47 that morning.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I could make a wild ass guess how many I could do. Like right now, if I dropped, I could probably give you one.
I can tell you right now exactly how many I can do anytime you ask me. Not a fucking one, because I'm not getting on the damn floor to do that shit. I don't have
First
to
of all,
anymore.
For me, when you get on the floor for anything, you better have freaking plans how you're gonna get up.
I might as well just go down there with a fucking pillow, because I'm not getting back up. I'm just going to take a nap before I do try to get back up.
Right. Okay. Well, so we agree that he will be or will not be confirmed.
I think he will be.
Okay, that's what
I mean,
said.
we've already got Rubio.
Well, that was my next one,
confirmed.
was Rubio, but like I said, this is my notes are from back away. So Rubio, he's in. He's already day one. He's hit the ground running.
Yeah.
He was in an interview. I don't know if you caught this, but the interview was about foreign policy and stuff like that, and they jumped over to something off of the wall of that, and he stopped them right there, and he said, "Look, I came on here to do an interview about foreign policy, and if you start asking questions about anything outside of that, we're done."
Right.
Next one I had up here is Pam Bondi.
Oh yeah, I love Pam. Love her. She's got bigger balls than anybody on the left for sure.
Oh man,
But
don't say that. That wasn't what I fantasized about her.
okay, metaphorical balls.
Right. You know that girl's 60 years old or damn near.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't look like she's had any work done, but I mean, beautiful lady, very sharp.
Smart lady.
Yeah. She's right around my age. I need to find out if she's married or not. Get me a sugar mama.
And I don't know. I think she was married and got some kids, maybe. I don't know.
No.
But I know one thing in that interview, that hearings, she smoked ass.
Oh yeah, she was tearing it up.
She put Schiff in his beady-eyed place.
Oh, that him and Schumer. I don't know what it is about them two.
And Jamie Raskin. I'd like to see.
Oh God, I forgot about him.
I'd like to see all three of them in a car wreck.
I would just like to see the
At
purge.
Chappaquiddick.
I'd like to see the purge become a reality for a night.
Right. But I'm sure she will be. That'd be my opinion.
Yeah, I think so as well. And like I said, I think and I think she will be. But a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these people on the left are making fun of Trump because here we are, another reality TV show or TV show host or whatever. Well, the hell, that's what he was. After other than the businessman, but these guys are all very successful businessmen. He's building these guys.
About the oligarchs.
Yeah. What the hell else have we had? That's all we've had for generations now.
Politicians.
Yeah, bullshit. They're all actors because they're acting one way to get these idiots to vote for them, and then they get in there and they do whatever the hell they want that's going to line their pockets. But these guys, he's setting these people up to run the economy. He's not setting them up to necessarily just focus on what they're going to be in charge of. They're going to help run the economy and get this damn thing straightened out.
It's a team. It's a team.
Exactly.
Together. Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see how it goes. The next 4 years are going to be very, very interesting.
Next 100 days are going to be spectacular. Okay, well, let's move on to Doug Burgum, Secretary of Interior, right?
I believe so. Him, I don't know a lot about. So you're probably gonna have to do the talking on this one.
Well, I don't know a lot about him either. I know what I've seen from interviews with him, and he seems like a real down-to-earth guy. He seems like the real person that Walls wanted to be.
Yeah.
He seems like maybe that's who he was trying to mimic. But I think he'll be confirmed. The next one that I had on the list was Kristi Noem. I think she'll be confirmed.
Like I said, I think the majority of them will be.
Who do you think might have a hard time?
I'll be honest with you, I can't even remember who all is in there because I've been watching other things going on more than the confirmations.
About Kash Patel.
Patel, I don't think is going to have any problem at all.
You don't? Oh, they're scared of him.
They are, but I don't. Like I said, I don't. From what I understand, they don't necessarily. Trump doesn't necessarily need Senate's approval, and he can go ahead and bring them in. And if that's the case, I think whoever he really truly wants in there, that's who's going to be in there. And I think Kash Patel is one of them.
I think Kash Patel will straighten the shit out of things. I bought and read his book, Government Gangsters. That's what they're all harping about, his enemy list or whatever, because in that book, he names every one of them like Mark Milley, and it tells exactly what he done that was treasonous. You know, I mean, he goes through every one of them. He lists them all. And he also talks about, you know, like the Steele dossier and Nunes in his memos. I mean, he breaks it all out, and that's why they're scared. They're all scared. It's like, you know, going into a dirty ass kitchen and raising the lid up on the stove and watching the cockroaches run. That's what it's like, and they're afraid of that. Like, oh, we're going in the dark. We'll pop the top off the stove and shine the plug. Let them go.
Yeah. No, you know, and a lot of the names we mentioned, and I'm not going to jump ahead on you here, but a lot of these names that we're mentioning are in the preemptive pardons that Trump has issued.
Well, let's talk about those.
Okay.
Wasn't Trump, first of all, it was Biden.
I'm sorry, I meant Biden. Yeah.
But let's talk about a preemptive pardon. There is no legal precedent for that.
No. Now, I know
it's about as strong as his I ratify the 28th Amendment.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I did see that Trump had given one. I mean, it goes all the way back to even Ford giving these preemptives for Nixon. But I've been doing a little bit of research on it, and I'm still kind of confused on it because, as you said, there's no precedent on this where it's legal. And from what I understand about even a regular pardon, the courts can refuse to accept those pardons.
Well, that I don't know about, but I do know this. If you're granted a pardon, that means you cannot serve time. Yeah, but cannot serve time. So these people that were granted pardons can be brought up before committees. They can be investigated. They can be taken to court and found guilty and sentenced to life that they don't have to do because they have a pardon.
Yeah.
You know what it will do? It will expose them to the world.
Exactly. And there is one little caveat to that too, as far as them getting these pardons is they can now, if they're questioned anything because Biden didn't pardon himself, but if they're questioned, they cannot claim the Fifth Amendment.
No 5.
Yeah, so it's either perjure yourself or
they go to jail anyway, unless they just answer honestly. If they perjure, they go to jail. If they don't answer, they go to jail. Now, let me ask you this: why do you think Biden did not pardon himself?
I don't know. I think because he's nuts. Maybe he just maybe he after he left, he was like, shit, there was one I forgot to sign. I don't know. So I don't know though. That was a good question, and another one that wasn't. There was I can't remember the lady's name, but she was complaining. She was bitching about her husband, Windelman or Winkle something. I'll have to find that name. But she was complaining about her husband not being pardoned. Why?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why is she? Why is she scared?
They all said, "Well, we didn't do anything. We're not guilty of nothing." Yeah, I'll take that pardon. I'll take it.
Oh yeah. Typical liberal.
I want a full list. I haven't seen a full list of the names. I don't know who's on there. I know that Liz Cheney is on it. I think the whole J6 committee is on it.
The whole J6 committee is on it.
So that includes Jamie Raskin and hell, I can't remember all their names, but Adam Schiff, is he in there?
I believe he is.
Chuck Schumer?
I think so, because Pelosi, I believe, was the one that headed all this up, right? So
yeah.
So of course she's going to have her boys on there. You know, you got to have them. You know, that's her. It's kind of like the gargoyles in Wizard of Oz. You know, that's Schumer and Schiffer brains.
Yeah. And who's that other guy that's always popping up? He's a younger guy. Was it Falwell? No.
No. I know who. I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't.
Oh yeah, he's always standing up for the Dems.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name right now. It must not be that important. Well,
no.
I don't know. It's all going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Now, Trump, he signed that executive order last night for the birthright citizenship. And there's already 11 lawsuits filed against him. And his team, bring it on. We got this.
This guy doesn't do anything that's really not calculated. I mean, Trump knows what he's doing. It's just like this whole thing with Matt Gaetz. You're going to be my AG, and then Gaetz drops out. I guarantee that was planned because now it kind of showed everybody showed their hands at that point.
They did, and it also let his next choice just slide right in.
Exactly. But yeah, he's. It's kind of like everybody says, he's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. The guy is they think he's dumb, but this guy is way smarter than they realize. So it's about to get interesting, I think, because if he wouldn't have done anything that's going to go against the Constitution. I honestly believe that.
That guy was up before daylight yesterday, and I have no idea. He went to 3 balls after he got done signing over 200 executive orders. I don't know how long he spent at each one. I know he went to the Commander-in-Chief's ball, had a sweet little dance. Oh, my God. And what did they pick up on today? That the next new hoax? Elon Musk giving the
Nazi salute.
The Nazi salute, because I'm saying, here's my heart to you. Oh my God.
Well, there's a young man on TikTok that posted that this morning, and I saw that. His name, and he's really, really interesting. But Jeffrey Mead is his name. He's on Instagram as well, if you're on Instagram. But anyway, he posted a video about that, and then he proceeded to show his next video. I think it showed Obama, Hillary Clinton, a couple other people, Democrats, doing the actual Nazi salute. Because there is a way to do that the proper way, and if you notice, all 4 of them,
and you got to click your heels when you do it too, right?
Yeah, and they have they have the thumb tucked in, and I believe that is one of the actual things that goes along. And I don't remember what that. I'll look that information up. We'll talk about it next time maybe.
Right.
But there's a lot of Democrats that actually give that Nazi salute. Now, whether I don't know whether that's what they're intending to do or not. I don't know, but I've noticed a lot of the Democrats use a lot of the same hand gestures. And I'm not saying any kind of conspiracy theory. It's just something I've noticed. You got
to consider the source, Rachel Madcow. I think she picked up on it first and made a deal out of it.
Yeah.
Why don't somebody just walk up, like one of the grips or the cameraman or the sound guy, just walk up and slap the fuck out of her. It's so ridiculous,
The whole thing with her, the fake cry, that gets me every time. I've just gotta laugh at him at that point, because to me that's I don't know what that is. If it's a him, if it's a her, but oh God, that's another thing. They're all throwing a damn fit because Trump said there's only 2 genders. So. Mr. Pickle playing with your buttons again.
Yeah, only 2 genders. That's an actual cut from the inaugural speech he gave.
Well, for the
Powered by Riverside FM.
for as far as the inauguration goes, what do you think about Carrie Underwood?
Carrie Underwood, I watched that girl grow up on American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a little country girl that had a great voice and could carry a tune. And I've watched her progress through all the evolution of becoming popular and, losing her virginity, losing her Christianity, learning how to drink, all of those evolutions. She did a marvelous job. She was faced with the most, to go up there and be ready to hear that music come on and to jump in and do your best karaoke ever and no music. And she brought it. She brought it. She was on tune.
She crushed
She brought
it.
the house down. Yeah.
She absolutely crushed it. And then we can't say the same of Billy Ray Cyrus, but she absolutely crushed it. And of course, the Walking Dead Biden back there was trying to sing along with. I don't know if he even knew where the hell he was, but I'm surprised he was even awake to stand up. But it was kind of cool though. The cool thing about it was the fact that all of them started singing along with her. So for just that split second, they were all working together. And if our both sides of our government could learn to do that, we'd be in a much better position.
Oh yeah. The only thing I was kind of surprised about was that Carrie didn't make a little bit of a comment about, I guess we have a technical problem, to kind of explain the situation. Instead, she just goes, if you know the word, sing along with me.
Yep.
And started, which is, it's fine. But I think, if I had been up there, I would have explained why. But I guess the most moving thing about the whole inaugural thing, the swearing in, was the non-movement of Biden and Harris. They look like wax statues sitting there. But I did catch something kind of funny watching
What's that?
Behind, the next row behind was Kamala's better half, partner, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And there was, I forget now, I'd have to go back and replay it, but there was a point where Trump said something and everybody was clapping and cheering and standing up, and Imhoff is going. I'm like, I got to get that clip, but I can't remember where it was, if it was on live TV or, I'd love to get that clip though. Yeah, he's like,
I'm going to start calling him Jack. Jack him off.
Yeah, jack him off.
If I was his parents, I think I'd have named him that just to fuck with him the rest of his life. But but no, and then there was a clip of. Did you notice Hillary whenever he mentioned about renaming the Gulf of Mexico, recalling it, or renaming it Gulf of America? She's over there just dying laughing about that.
I did not. I missed that part. I'd go back and look at it.
I'll see if I can find the video. I'll send it to you. Yeah. Now my sister sent it to me, and I think it was edited for the one she's got, because it was cut to where it cuts to her, to Hillary, but the audio is Trump talking about being persecuted by the Biden administration. But the video I saw on YouTube shows him it shows a full cut of him and her both in the shot, and he's talking about the Gulf of Mexico, and that's when she's over there laughing. She tries to put her head down where you can't see it, but you can clearly see she's laughing at it,
like it's a big joke. Why would it be called the Gulf of America? I mean, I posted something about, well, it's surrounded by the Americas. And one of my friends came back and said, South America? And I'm like, I never responded to it, but I'm thinking, well, you're looking a little bit too close and only considering shoreline. Because if you zoom back out a little bit, you'll see that the whole Caribbean and everything is pretty much encompassed by Americas, North,
No.
Central, and South. So, it made perfect sense to me that it would be called the Gulf of America or the Americas,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Um,
all right, dude, we're approaching almost an hour here. It's been fun. I intended to try to keep it at 20 minutes or so.
we got to work on that.
We had to cover a lot of ground tonight. Been a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
Been a long time. All right, well, let's say goodnight to everybody, and I'll start working on the post editing part of this, and which is really boring. Takes forever. But anyway, if you guys like this shit you're hearing, think it's funny or whatever, subscribe to the channel. This will be up on YouTube by tomorrow. We appreciate everybody that rings the bell and hits the like button. But what we're missing is people joining in on the comments. Come on, man. You're watching it on YouTube. Right down below the video is the comment. Please go down there. Tell us exactly. And remember, Trump just wiped out all the censorship. So did Zuckerberg. Free speech. Say whatever you want to say. So
I've not been kicked off of Facebook one time.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even get any of the what was it I used to get all the time?
The restrictions?
Yeah, and we found something false in your photograph.
Oh.
I'm like, how do you find something false? I stole it off of Facebook. Now you're going to flag me for it?
I do find it ironic, and I'm sorry to kind of butt in here again, but I do find it ironic though that he backtracked his position on fact checkers after both Democrats and Republicans invested millions into Meta. One of whom is Mike McCall, who is the senator or congressman who wrote the bill to ban TikTok.
Yep.
Within a month after he wrote that bill, he invested $1.5 million into Meta stock.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'll let you have it.
No, I'm just sitting here in wonderment of some of the crap that goes on. Like, oh my God. Anyway, it's the Love Connection. See you in 2 and 2. Goodbye.
Hey.